Okay, yesterday we started the dinim of Kiddush. We're talking about how to hold the cup. Now, we were discussing, it's really later, but anyway, we were discussing what happens if you have, let's say, you need at least a revius of wine, let's say, which is 3 ounces. What happens if you have 4 ounces of wine, but the cup is 5 ounces? So now you're going to put the 4 ounces into a 5-ounce cup. It's not full. And we know one of the things it needs to be full. Definitely lechatchila needs to be full. So then the din is, you're allowed to put things into the cup to make it go up. Give you an example. You take halachic, you take an egg, put it into the cup, then the liquid will go up, and now you'll have a full cup. So you have enough wine. You have over 3 ounces of wine, plus you have a full cup. Some people say you put some sugar cubes. I mean, they have different ideas what to put in.
Don't put the wine cork because it's going to flow.
The question was, can you put a wine cork in? It says no, because it's not nice. It doesn't, huh? Ice. But by the time it melts, you'll be able to have the full cup. You make what?
Going back to lip painting, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Somebody's planning to try after Shabbos.
After candle lighting.
After Shabbos starts. Yeah, anyway. Should you encourage it to light the Shabbos candle or not encourage it?
You mean they won't light later?
Well, they're going to leave and then Shabbat.
Yeah, but if they don't light candles, they'll light them later? What are they going to do?
Well, they can light it later. Because Shabbat is...
So either they're going to light candles and drive.
They don't keep Shabbat.
Okay, so then what they should do is they should be encouraged to light candles, and they should make a condition that they're not accepting Shabbos until they have to. That's all you could do. I mean, let's put it this way. When the Rebbe came out with the campaign for women and girls to light candles, so now the question is always a very unanswered question, like, wintertime, women are still at the business. Let's say they're working. They're not Shomer Shabbat. So, should they light candles in the office? Which means they're bringing in Shabbos 18 minutes earlier and they're still going to be working? Or should they not light Shabbos candles and just, so they're desecrating Shabbos 18 minutes less?
Yes.
I don't know. It's a very interesting question. I don't know what the answer is. Okay, anyway. So now, what?
But this is talking about somebody keeping Shabbat. He's talking about somebody not keeping Shabbat. He's at work.
You give it out in the streets, you give them Shabbos candles, you tell them go light Shabbos candles. You're going to start telling them with conditions? It doesn't work.
I thought the Rebbe said that for those kind of girls, they just put like a white tablecloth on the table after Shabbos stuff.
There's 2 different issues. You have to tell people they shouldn't light after sundown, because then not only they're not doing a mitzvah, they're desecrating Shabbos, which is worse. So if a woman says, listen, I can only light candles, let's say Shkia is 6 o'clock. She says, I can only light candles at 7 or else I can't light. Then you tell her, don't light. Because lighting at 7 o'clock is desecration of Shabbos. Yeah, but not a mitzvah that comes when a sin is not a mitzvah.
They are not doing it anyway. They are not going to keep it. It's better at least to...
No, but you're telling them to desecrate Shabbos. That you can't do. They do it, but you can't tell somebody to desecrate Shabbos. So by telling them to light candles, you're basically telling them to desecrate Shabbos, and that you can't do, because then you're telling somebody a mitzvah that comes to a sin. Then they know about it, they're doing it anyway, so it's even worse. Okay, now we said already, you looked at... Yeah, but the Rebbe wanted you should do it on time and not work. Okay, so...
And if later on, if they drive, that's a different problem.
What? I didn't say, I said I don't know. It was an unanswered question since Mifsa Neshek began. Okay, next, we learned already that before you start making Kiddush, you look at the candles, because it says when you walk fast during the week, you lose 1/500th of your eyesight, and when you look at the 2 candles Friday night, you get it back because Ner, Nun Reish equals 250, and 2 candles, twice 250 is 500. So by looking at the candles, you get your eyesight back.
So if your wife has 6 candles, so you can
What?
When you lose it?
By walking fast. Jogging, in other words. What?
some people never walk fast. But so if your wife likes 6 candles every Shabbos, you get more vision than what you like.
No, you only get 500 that you lose. Okay, next. Now, the halachos need to be covered at Kiddush. Why do the halachos need to be covered at Kiddush? There's 2 reasons. And there's a halachic difference between the 2 reasons. One reason is because halachically, if you're eating bread and wine, the bracha of bread comes before the bracha of wine. At first, during the week, if you're having for dinner, you're going to wash, and then you're going to drink wine. So halachically, first you have to make a meitzi, and then you make a brei piagav. Or for that matter, even if you're having cake, you're sitting down to farbrengen, you're going to have cake and wine. First you have to make a mezainis, and then you have to make a brei piagav. Why does hameitzi or mezainis come before gafen? Because in the pasuk it says eretz chita useira, wheat and barley, and then geffen. So the pearl, you have to make a bracha first on the hameitzi. The problem is Friday night, you can't make hameitzi before Kiddush, because before Kiddush you're not allowed to eat. So therefore you have no choice. So not to embarrass the challah, because really the challah should be made first, not to embarrass the challah, that's what it says, not to embarrass the challah, you cover the challahs as if to say they're not here. That's one reason why you cover the challah. The second reason why you cover the challah is we have 2 challahs corresponding with the double portion of man that fell in the midbar on Friday. And the Gemara, the pasuk says the man had dew underneath it, and then the man fell, and then there was dew on top of the man. So there was dew, man, dew. So therefore it says in halacha, another reason why you cover the halachos, because the halachos remind us of the man, and the man was covered on top and bottom. Okay? These are the 2 reasons why you cover the challah. What's the difference between the 2 reasons halachically? When do you uncover the challah? If the reason is the first reason we said, because really challah should come first, and so as soon as you finish Kiddush, you made Kiddush already. So then you can uncover the challah because you're not dealing with the wine anymore. But if you hold the reason is because of the man, so then you shouldn't uncover the challah until after the bracha of hameitzi. There is no official Chabad meaning about this.
This is when you're not
You
saying
mean after
Kiddush?
the bracha?
Huh?
What did you say? When you're not saying Kiddush?
No, I'm saying once you finish Kiddush, you can uncover the challah.
Oh, okay.
There's no reason to cover it anymore. You made Kiddush already. But if the reason is because of the man, then until you make the bracha, you should have the challah covered. So again, there's 2 different customs, 2 different opinions. There's no official
Either
Chabad
way you're
meaning.
wrong, so don't worry.
There's no official Chabad meaning.
The person why do we only do this covering during the week? If a person wants to drink and there's like something on the table.
Why don't you do the covering? Because during the week, your taka should make the mezainis hameitzi first.
Let's say you're not going to be eating it.
Then you don't have to cover it.
So let's say someone's not going to wash on
So
Chabad.
don't have to.
They don't have to cover the challah?
No.
You can say Kiddush and leave the challah uncovered.
Yeah, they're not using the kiddush. They don't want the challah.
Okay, there's no opinion of...
So there's a question in halacha when you make kiddush over with mezainis, like in shuls, right? You make kiddush and there's mezainis on the table. Should you cover the mezainis? Now, if the reason because of the man, there's no reason to cover the mezainis. If the reason is because of the bracha that really is supposed to make a mezainis before gafen, then you're supposed to cover the mezainis. Most people do cover the mezainis.
So it's also the same, for example, if you have 2 breads that you put for the Kiddush, and then you have, you're doing the Kiddush, but there is other pieces of bread for, then you don't...
Halachically, you don't, some people do. You don't have to cover that because that's not what you're making the bracha on.
Exactly. It's like if you're not going to eat it.
You're right. It's not what you're dealing with. It's not what you're eating. You have to cover it. What? What? What, when it's still covered, you mean? I'm not saying, the question is just it's more practical, but we don't cover the challah, then just, Again, many people keep it covered until after Hametzi. What? So you could do it under the cover?
You don't know where you put your hands when you
One second. What is there to see? You break daf, he came in under the cover? That's harder than putting it next to each other, one on top of the other.
Going back to the nearest, if the halacha is lighting in their apartment or whatever, is there any need to look at it?
When? By Kiddush?
Yeah.
Only if you're making Kiddush there.
I understand, but the Indian of nearest or whatever, it's not there anymore, because it's not two.
If it's not there, you don't look at it.
If one, I'm saying it's not two.
No, Bachram light one.
I think the 500 thing, the cheshbon doesn't come out.
Right. Because Bachram don't lose their eyesight.
So you know what, you close your eyes.
Yeah.
Like Kiddush, you have one challah that's open, the other challah is closed in the back and it's locked. Is it okay to use the one that's in the back without taking it out?
You mean as a second one? Okay, we'll get to that later. Many opinions say you should really take it out of the plastic bag, even though it's not the one you're covering. I mean, the one you're eating. But what happens if somebody realizes, there's only one challah, and the other challah they have in the freezer? So right away, obviously they can't use it. But it says you should, we'll get there when we get to the Lechem Mishnah we'll talk. There are opinions that say it's better to take it out of the bag. If you didn't, you still get to Lechem Mishnah.